I don't know about you. I get it sometimes. That being said, you say, well, you've been talking a long time. You're a college professor. You shouldn't be afraid in front of a crowd. Normally I'm not, but every once in a while, if I have a giant crowd of 200 people or whatever, or if I'm not prepared and talk to impromptu, but the problem I have is it takes me 15 minutes to just talk about my name in the process. So I don't normally have a problem, but every once in a while, I come across something and I get nervous about it. And that's me. If you don't do it on a regular basis, this is not uncommon. And to some extent, it actually helps you be successful. If it scares you, here it is. This is a monologue from Jerry Seinfeld, except it really is true. According to most studies, people's number one fear is public speaking. Number two fear is death. Death is number two. Okay, now this means the average person, if you have to go to a funeral, you're better off in the casket than doing a eulogy. It's true. The number one fear that people have is generally speaking in public, and it's higher than dying in the process. So that being said, public speaking is frightening and it does scare you. So here are some steps. Breathe deeply. Yes. Convert the fear into excitement. Instead of being terrified to death, it says, wow, I'm going to be in front of a crowd. I'm going to express some of the things I've wanted to say for years. Yes, yes. Lie to yourself if you have to. Know your topic, come prepared. I like to have double time. If I got a half-hour presentation, I have an hour's worth of material. I practice. I know my stuff inside and out. I pretty much memorized it, except for the fact that I have all kinds of different things to help jog my memory and use positive stuff. You got this. You got this. Surprisingly, that works really well. You're going to be successful at this. You know what? You know your material is so good that you can just spit it up there. You're going to get up there, no problem. One time I was worried. I've always been worried about tripping as you go up on a platform over there. So one time I deliberately tripped going on the platform to get that monkey off my back. And then I told the audience, you know what? I'm always worried about tripping on the platform, but you guys are so cool. I thought, well, I'm going to try tripping on the platform and see how good it is. And I did. And they laughed about it, and so did I. And that got that fear off of my back because of the fact I lingered on it for years in presentations as you go through. Take a sip of water. It always really helps. Oh, yes. It's not alcohol, just straight water. Okay, all right. Anyway, all right, shift the spotlight to your visuals as you go through. Just kidding, no alcohol. Ignore any stumbles. Sometimes I talk fast. Every once in a while, I stutter as you go through. I don't need to make fun of it, except I have that problem sometimes. So that being said, feel proud when you finish, when you're all done, okay? And no matter what happens, you're gonna wish you did one thing, or you said one thing. I wish I said this. I can't believe it, or I can't believe I said that. One or the other. You always have that. Turn fear into cheer. Okay, follow these 8 steps as you go through. Here's the big thing. Love your audience. I mean, sitting there sometimes, I've sat on stage and getting ready to speak and everything else, and I'm sitting there, I go out and I'll focus in on the person. That person sat down there, and I may know them, I may not know them. If I don't, I make up a story. If I do, they've come from really almost a 7-hour drive to be here through planes and everything else, and they're sitting here, they're exhausted. Okay, and I'm part of the reason they came. I got to sit down and really do that. I really hope that I make an impact on that person. Love who they are, and then focus in on one person. That is how you sit down and overcome everything else. And get the person towards the back 1/3 and sit down and focus in. You're going to talk to that person. You're going to make an impact on them. You're going to find that them is actually the whole audience, but you're talking to one person. And they want you to succeed. They're giving of their time there to hear you. They want to hear something you have to say. They could be someplace else, but they're here listening to you. You're their focus as you go through. They really want you to succeed. If you stutter, if you stammer, they're not going to criticize you. They may chuckle or whatever, but they feel exactly the same way because everybody is nervous about speaking in public. Imagine your speech going well. You prepared, you practice, you know the material, you believe in what you're saying in the process. Imagine it going well because by all rights, it should. So have that in your head and practice. I know a guy, he sits down there and when he practices, he's a good speaker. When he doesn't, he goes off tangent all the time. practice, practice, practice in front of a mirror, in front of your dog or your cat. But cats don't listen very good in the process. They're always meowing about something else. No, cats. Anyway, so practice, practice in front of a mirror if you can. Dogs tend to be better as well. And if you can, get your kids to sit still, bribe them with candy and everything else after you're all done. Slow down and enjoy the moment as you go through. And then really, when you're doing a presentation, you're giving of yourself to others. Enjoy that moment, enjoy that opportunity as you go through. Now, some of the preparation before your presentation: prepare thoroughly, rehearse repeatedly, time yourself, dress professionally. By the way, do you notice the slides? How many words are each one of these little slides? Prepare thoroughly, rehearse repeatedly, time yourself, dress professionally. Two. That's parallelism. Make certain your presentation, your bullet points reflect that as you go through. Check the room and equipment. Don't trust the electronics. Don't trust it. Don't trust it. Did I remind you? Don't trust it. Things go wrong in electronics. Double check it, triple check it, have somebody else check it, and have a backup just in case. Greet the audience members. If you have a chance, don't get on the stage until you have to. Go around the audience and say, you know what, round table, I'm going to be here today. Thank you guys for coming so much. Where are you from? And talk to them as you go through. Introduce yourself. People like that. They like to know the speaker in the process. And then practice stress reduction. Talking to the people is stress reduction for me. It may increase stress for others, but do different things. During your presentation, begin with the pause. Everybody gets quiet during the pause as you go through. Present your first line from memory. There was a time, a long time ago, when the world, and think of the whole first line from memory as you go through. Maintain eye contact. Don't read from your notes. That first line, you want to open with a giant hook. You want their whole focus to be on you in that very moment. That's why the pause. Control your voice and avoid meaningless fillers. That process and everything else. I've done it. Everybody's done it as you go through this public speaking. Try to make certain that you're clear and crisp, especially in the opening sentence, especially in the opening monologue that you have in your first paragraph as you go through. Show enthusiasm as you go through. People like an enthusiastic speaker. They'll forgive you for a multitude of sins of stumbles, stutters, stammers as you go through. If you just love your topic, don't apologize. I just want to apologize. I'm not very well prepared. You might as well say, I'm an incompetent buffoon too. No, don't apologize for it. You've worked hard for this moment. You've worked hard for this. Don't apologize if you stutter. Don't apologize if you stammer. You just keep on going because your topic is so important. You need to get it out there and make certain they all catch the fire that's burning on the inside of you. Don't apologize. Slow down and know when to pause. Don't just read from the slides, go through, give your own stuff, tell your stories, move naturally, do weird, wacky things in the process as you go through, control, visualize the clickers, pointers, and blank screens, do all kinds of stuff, avoid digressions. Did I say avoid digressions? Well, maybe you should avoid digressions as you go through. Summarize your main points and drive home your messages as you go through. Really have a lot of fun with it as you go through. And then after your presentation, breathe deeply, wipe the brow off your face, distribute handouts. If you can't be at the door, encourage questions. That actually is a really good tool, by the way. And repeat the questions, because a lot of times somebody says, and you say, okay, so what I get you is what this person's asking is this question, because you have the microphone and people may not have heard them because their face is towards you and you're facing the audience as you go back in the process. Reinforce your main points as you go through. Don't become defensive, no matter what happens. If you've spoken 5 times, at least one of them, somebody challenged you on it. Don't worry about it. You're still going to be alive the next day. Avoid yes, but answers. You don't want to have that. And end with a summary. I want to thank you all for being here today. Really, in the process, the stage fright, yes, but convert that fear into excitement. Prepare, rehearse, and greet. Do that first line from memory, and then follow your notes and plan. You'll be alive afterwards. Really, you will. You'll still be alive once you finish your presentation. If not, send me a note.